Welcome back to another episode of Triple FMK. I'm your host, Jay, and I'm going to watch the horror movies and let you know if I'd rather fuck it, marry it, or kill it. And on this week's episode, I'm going to be covering a movie called Itsy Bitsy. It's a 2019 American horror film directed by Micah Gallo. And let me go and get this out of the way right now. Fright Flick family, I am terrified of spiders. Like, I don't give a fuck how big it is or how small it is. I'm fucking scared of them. I don't like them. I don't know where it started. I don't know if there was some fucking trauma back in the childhood days that I can't remember. Maybe I buried that shit down deep. Maybe, it'd be like some psychiatrist. Is that what they're called? Maybe, they could peel that onion back maybe and be like, oh, this is where your fear came from. But I don't know. But whatever it was, I think I buried that fucking shit deep down inside. But to this day, they scared the shit out of me. So I'm going to, I came across this one today, actually. So I seen it. I saved it to my watch list. And I decided I was going to watch it and then just get straight on here, do a show, and then I'm going to, and then upload this. So this one's fresh. I just watched it maybe an hour ago. So, damn, this one made me uncomfortable. Holy shit. But, hey, if you've been a part of the Fright Flick family and you've listened in, welcome back. If this is your first time here and you're just, accidentally somehow came across this in your scrolling process and this is your first time, welcome to the shit show. Don't get your hopes up. Don't come in here with big hopes. Don't come in here thinking that this is the greatest thing ever. But the way we do it around here is, hey, grab you a drink, pull you up a chair, and then we're just gonna sit here and we're gonna shoot the shit about a horror movie. If you've been around long enough, I don't have no script. The only notes I really have is like the fucking cast. And that's just so I can kind of remember names. But I just jump on here, shoot from the hip, and we send it. And so that's what we're going to do with this one. If you've listened to some of the past episodes, if you have liked, subscribed, commented on anything, I definitely appreciate it. If you want to find us, we're on all the main streaming platforms. Just look for Fright Flick FMK. We're on. This is also a YouTube, so I do a podcast and also upload it to a YouTube. So the podcasters, you get to miss out on all of this, and you get to miss out, when I take my breaks and stuff like that. But I definitely appreciate anybody who has checked this out and who has kind of followed along. We've had some new listeners, the numbers, I don't know. I think I see a chart where it tells me, but I don't know what's good or not. But hey, there's a website, Fright Flick FMK podcast. It's like a one-stop shop. There's everything there. I started a Patreon, real small and basic. It's like, I think it's like $4, and it gets you into the Discord. It may become more later on. I don't know. I'm a rookie when it comes to that shit. But the website also has the links to all the social media sites. It has links to get you to the podcasting platforms, the YouTube, the little store. You can go get you a little bit of the Fright Flick merchandise. Yeah. So, and I kind of fucked that word up when I said it, but let me go ahead and make this clear. And family, if you've been around more than a day, you know what happens when I get on here. It's right here. The Gentleman and Jack. I'm already into it already. So it happens. 1 second. That's a Gentleman and Jack break. Thank you. And for the new viewers, when I say hold on a second, I'm gonna take a break. That's what I'm doing. I'm taking my Gentleman and Jack break. So yeah. And for the new people, I'm not nothing. I just love Gentleman and Jack. Jack Daniels don't give me shit. So hey, but if they ever did, if you ever did, Jack Daniels, I could drop my address. You send me a couple bottles or whatever. But one more time before we get into this, Gentleman Jack break again. Thank you. So yep, check us out on the social media. Follow us. Subscribe. because if you subscribe, you'll get notified when new shows go up. Because I don't really have a set schedule. The only schedule I have is on Friday. I try to make sure I release one every Friday. But during the week, if I got the time and I come across a movie that I like and I want to get on here and talk about it, I just jump on here, talk about it, finish the show, upload it. No schedule, no nothing. Like I said, around here, we just send it. Just whenever the mood hits me. And so that's why the benefit of subscribing. That way you're not, just sitting there thinking every Friday it's going to come out. No, there'll be days, there may be some time where I don't release any except on Friday. But there's days like today where I come across one, and there'll be more. Possibly another one tomorrow, because I saved some movies on my watch list that I'm probably going to check out either tonight and then tomorrow. So there might be another episode tomorrow that get put up. So, like I said, subscribe to the podcast. That way you get notifications. Damn, is that all the housekeeping shit? I believe it is. So now we're going to turn our attention back to the Itsy Bitsy. One more second. I got to get a little more Jack Daniels in me to talk about this fucking thing. Gentleman Jack break, thank you. But like I said, 2019, Micah Gallo directed it. This stars, Bruce Davidson. Pretty big name, been in a lot of stuff. It also stars Elizabeth Roberts, Armand Darboux, and Chloe Perrin. And I think I said that right. And so those are going to be our main ones, our main characters. Bruce Davis is going to play Walter. Denise Crosby, she plays Sheriff Jan. And I'm reading this, so if you see me kind of look this way, YouTubers, video followers, I'm reading the names because, like I said, I can't remember this shit. Elizabeth Roberts as Kara. Armand Darboux as Jesse. And Chloe Perrin as Cambria. I think I'm saying that right. It's Cambria, Cambria. Now, Kara, played by Elizabeth Roberts, is the mother. Armand Darboux as Jesse is the son. Chloe Perrin, Cambria, is the daughter. So we got mom, son, and daughter. So that's going to be our main three. I'm pretty sure that's right. Like I said, Gentleman and Jack, I just watched it. I didn't have time to take a lot of notes, and because sometimes I'll put little shit next to their names and be like, that was the mother, that was this person. I didn't do that this time. I just put the names up there, and so that's what we're going to roll with it. But when this one starts off, it's going to take you out in the middle of a fucking jungle somewhere with some type of tribe. It doesn't tell you shit about them. Doesn't say, like, don't give you a location, nothing. It just basically you're out here in this jungle-ish area with a tribe. They are cutting out this like webbing looking shit, and they're putting it in this pot. They put a lid on this little homemade pot, this black pot, and looks like a big urn, but they put this lid on it, and they are sitting around doing some type of little ritual. I don't know. I don't know. But that's kind of how it starts off. And while all this is going on, they're giving you little peeks of the spiders. A little glimpse. And man, that alone, because I'm telling you, family, I am terrified of them. And so all it takes is a little picture or something, They get me sometime on the social media shit. If I'm scrolling through and there's a fucking spider picture or spider video, you in the Discord, you know who you are. But those things will fucking, man, they get me. I don't know. I'm scared of them. So every time he's showing these little, just a quick little snapshot of it, instantly my skin crawls. And one thing about horror movies, horror is different to different people. Some people may watch certain things and be like, I don't consider that horror, but I look at movies like anything that can make you feel uncomfortable, anything that can kind of challenge you and make you feel kind of, that can be horror to people. And for me, anything with a fucking spider in it is horror to me. Like, horror scares the shit out of me. I'll watch them, And they challenge me, and that's why I enjoy watching them, because for me, that's a challenge. It's not the movies that's got all the fucking blood spraying, killing, and just bodies being fucked up. That shit don't bother me. But you throw in a damn spider, and that's my level. That shit goes up, man. It just it makes my skin crawl. So as they're showing you all this, back to the movie, my bad. But so they're doing this little ritual. Well, then it kind of flashes, and you see this little Jeep flying through the jungle, that, you know, in some mud and driving away. And there's like 3 guys in the truck, in the Jeep. One guy, you can tell he got like something was wrong with his leg, like he got stabbed in the leg or something like that. So they're basically trying to tell the driver dude to slow down, that nobody's following them. But then it goes back and it shows a little kid where that little tribe was at. And he kind of goes up in this little cave and he's walking around. When he gets up in there, you see all these dead bodies. And he's just kind of looking around. But then you start kind of putting it together that these 3 dudes rode up in there and killed this tribe. And so the little boy walks up and he sees his mama laying there. Well, his mama grabs him, you know, and he's like saying, "No, mama." But then all she said was like, they took her. And then it just kind of went away from that. You know, I'm not stupid. When I seen them cutting that fucking webbing out and putting it in the damn urine pot, I knew when she said they took her, I knew what that meant. You know, it didn't take rocket science for me. I knew that the fucking spider is in the urine pot. And so then that kind of jumps forward. Not really forward. I don't know if it's the same timeline or what, but fuck it. Mom, we got Kara, Jesse, and Cambria riding down the road. They're moving. The end of the little SUV got the trailer on the back. You can tell they're moving. And the mom's talking to the son, Jesse, and she's basically telling him, you know, it's going to be good for us. The money's going to be better. She can spend more time with them. Remember that when I say spend more time with them, because I'm going to come back around to that when I fucking discuss Mama Kara here in a few minutes. And so they're driving, and while she's still talking, Jesse, the little teenage boy sitting in the passenger seat, while she's still kind of missing it, he just puts his earphones back in his ears. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, we didn't have, like, I grew up in the 70s and the 80s, people. You know, we didn't have little headphones we can stick in our ears, you know, when mama was talking to us. And if we did, we would have never, you know, if my mama was giving you a talk mid-sentence, and if I'd have put them earphones in my ears, good God, Mama Joe would have slapped the shit out of me so hard. I'd have been deaf. She'd have slapped them things out of my head so hard. Like I said, and this little boy, when his mom's talking to him, he just puts them in his ear and looks out the window. I was like, what? I can see it now. That'd been my mama. She'd have grabbed me by the head, popped me against that window about 2 times, you know. But I was like, oh, you rude ass little boy. But in that time, it's the beginning of the movie. Later on, you start seeing a little bit about the mama, about Kara, and you kind of understand why Jesse was the way he was, you know. So Kara got some shit, but and so at that moment, you don't really understand it. You just think he's a little teenage boy being a little pain in the ass. But he's got his reason. But my mama still would have slapped my head against that window. So they show up while they're driving. Then we go back to, we got Bruce Davison, who plays Walter. Walter is like he's a collector. He collects a lot of like artifacts and stuff like that. Got a lot of stuff in his house. And the dude, Hakiba is what we're going to call him, because I don't know if I'm saying that right. Hakiba, played by Trevor. I'm not even going to try it. Trevor Etienne, maybe. But he was the one that was in the Jeep. One of the guys in the Jeep that was running away, killing all that tribe. So he's there in Walter's house. And he's basically like, Walter, I got you a gift. He pulls this little wrapping off. We got the urine pot sitting there. And Walter's kind of asking him some questions about it. And he basically comes out and tells Walter, Hakiba does, that he basically killed him. And he took it. Well, then you find out, though, the reason Hakiba went back and killed him, because he had an issue with him, because Walter's wife, years and years ago, they were there. And Walter's wife was basically raised a Hakiba. And that little tribe poisoned her and she died. So Hakiba, that was his mama figure, and he just his whole life. And so he was basically kind of like a revenge thing, wanted to go after him. And so he shows up with the urine pot. And basically he just leaves it there and he goes on about his business. There's some shit that's said, but you can watch it and figure out and listen to all that. But oh, by the way, I say watch this. Itsy Bitsy can be watched on Tubi for free. Ain't gonna cost you nothing. Stream it on Tubi. Okay, back to our regular scheduled program. One more second, people. That's a gentleman in Jack break. Thank you. So we got Kara, Jesse, and Cambria show up. And you see Walter looking out the window as they pulling up. And it looks like, you come to find out that Kara is going to be there to kind of be like a stay-at-home kind of nurse for Walter. I'm not sure at all. Walter's got some health issues, needs a lot of meds, got to be looked after. So she's basically going to be there. There's a little house next to Walter's, and they're basically going to live in that house while she takes care of Walter and stuff like that. So they show up, they pull up to the house, they go in there, and you tell us an older house. The Jesse and Cambria go up in there first. Mom comes up in there. Well, then she gets a phone call. And she's like, she comes in there and tells them, she's like, oh, I gotta go check in. Y'all go ahead and start unpacking stuff, whatever you can carry. And they've been in the house for like a fucking minute. They've never been in this house. Mom don't know what's in this house or nothing. She didn't come in and check it out first. She's basically like, I gotta go start unpacking shit, whatever you can. And she goes off. Leaves fucking Jesse and Cambria there in a house that she literally just took 2 fucking steps in and then just leaves them. And so she goes over there to check in with Walter. She comes in, Walter's like, and you kind of figure, that's when you figure out that she's there to kind of take care of it. So when they go in there, she's like, Walter gets up, shows her around all those little artifacts and shit. And, she's talking to him about his, whatever she's going to be there for. And while this is going on, it almost seems like it was the same evening. Like, because I'm looking, it goes back to fucking Jesse and Cambria in the house, and they are basically fending for themselves. So and he's like, they're trying to make some food, but they ain't no fucking microwave. Like, I don't know what the fuck he put in her bowl, looked like some SpaghettiOs. And so he gives her that, and it's like cold, says can't heat it up. And so they're just kind of fending for themselves. And I'm going, and I'm trying to figure out, like, damn, Kara, like, you just got there. Go check in, come back, and get your shit in the house ready, take care of your kids. But it almost seems like she was there for a minute, because one moment Walter's showing her around. The next time, Walter's crawling into bed, and she's basically putting like a little monitor next to him, almost like a speakerphone type thing, where she can hear him where she's at her house. And so I'm like, damn, have you been there all day? But then it kind of comes forward. She comes back to the house that evening. She goes in there, and little girl's up in her bed, sleeping. So I'm going, like, did the bedrooms already have beds, and maybe they just made their own beds or whatever? But she's up there, the kids are asleep and stuff like that. And so Kara starts having some flashbacks. Kara, you find out, they had another son. And I feel like I may have got these names wrong. Oh, well, you'll see it when you watch it. It's free on Tubi. Check it out. We're going to go with what we got. But you tell she starts having some flashbacks. And apparently there was a car accident where she lost a son. Don't remember his name. Maybe the son was, I don't know. I'm not going to confuse you. We're going to keep rolling. Anyway, she loses a son. And apparently she had been on some medication. And little Miss Kara got a little problem with the oxy. she's got a little problem because earlier when she was when it shows her at Walter's place, she's looking through Walter's meds, reaches over there, looks over there, and there's a bottle of Oxy. You could tell the way she was kind of looking at it. You're like, oh yeah, bitch, you got a little Oxy problem. You know, that's your little go-to. So then the next day, she is leaving Walter. She hears something in the fucking, no, it's the same day. Back up just a second. The first day she goes there, checks in with Walter. Walter's showing her around the house. While he's showing her around the house, Hakiba is in the house. He comes up in the house. So he's in the bed, in the living room where the fucking urn pot is. And he's looking at it and he's kind of mad about everything. He's looking at the picture of him and his and Walter's wife, you know, like that's the lady that raised him. He's looking at it, gets mad, picks up the pot, the urn pot. And damn it, people, I told y'all they put that fucking spiderweb looking thing in the urn pot in the beginning. So when he picked this thing up and he like smashes it on the floor, shatters. And right then, I instantly was just like kind of curled myself up. I'm like, oh fuck, here we go. And when it opened, you see this little web ball looking thing. I don't know what the fuck it was, but Hakiba's looking at it, and then the damn fucking thing starts moving, almost like it's breathing. Like, and it got me thinking that ritual possibly was a way for them to lock it away. Like, it was locked away, and that was a way to keep it. That's the whole little ritual they were doing. So when he busted this thing open, this thing's back now. And that gets explained a little later. But so when this thing starts crawling, you see the fucking legs of it. And I'm telling you, like, talking about it right now makes me almost draw up. That's how much spiders get to me. As soon as them legs started kind of opening up by this little whatever the hell it was, you know, oh, fuck. And so Kara hears this. She's coming down the hallway, and right when she tries to peek into the room, you hear a little commotion in there. Well, then you see a Hakiba coming out like something's wrong with him. And he just kind of, you know, he's trying to tell Kara something. Well, Walter shows up with a gun. Hakiba darts out of the house, jumps in his van, and is hauling ass. But then Kara and Walter go up in there, looking around, and she sees the pot busted, and she offered to clean it up. And then Walter's like, no, don't worry about it. Basically telling that he knew Hakiba, there's nothing to worry about. Her and her kids are safe. You know, so that's when she goes back home that night and then finds the kids already asleep. Well, then it shows Hakiba flying down the road in his van, and you can tell he's fucked up. Like that spider got him because it shows his arm. He can tell he's got like a bite on his arm. And so he's just that whatever venom is having, he's got him fucked up. Bands all over the road and shit. Well, then it kind of looks at it, you know, close up with a little wound. He like touches it with his hand, and then he just kind of like presses it. I don't know what the fuck he pressed it for, but when he pressed it, it made this little gooey type of noise that I don't like. And so then he kind of runs off the road and he like hits something, you know. But we go back to the house. Kara's on her way home that night. Big fucking spider had got out of Walter's house and is now like up in a tree. And it's looking at her. Like you can tell because it kind of shows you the view from the spider's vision when it's looking around. And you see her go up and he's watching her go up in the house. And I'm just waiting on that first moment where it kind of gives you that view of it. Because right now you just got the little leg shit going on. And there's a part of she gets up in the house, looking around. Well, the spider is looking through the window and it's seeing her with the kids and whatever. So the next day they go, and the little boy the next day gets up. Mom, Kara, had apparently ran into town to get some fucking medication for Walter. And Kara is just way too comfortable leaving Jesse with Cambria, the daughter. And Jesse looks like he might be fucking, I don't know, 13, maybe 12, 13. Cambria a little younger. But so she just goes off to get the stuff. Well, the meds for Walter. Well, Jesse's he walks over to Walter's and he's in there looking around, and he steals some shit from Walter. Walter comes in and he basically tells him he needs to go, whatever. And so Jesse goes on back, and him and the little girl, Cambria, just over at the house by themselves. And there is a part where he's over there, and eventually, because Cambria basically tells him that it was wrong to take that thing from Walter and stuff like that. So next day, apparently, Kara had to go off into town. Leaves fucking Jesse once again there with Cambria. Well, Jesse goes over to Walter's, basically to apologize that he took that little collectible thing of his. Walter asks, he comes in, tells Walter he's sorry, well, Walter takes him in there, and he's got the urine pot laid out on the desk. And he starts, and his plan was to have Jesse help him put it back together. Who's going to glue it, whatever. And so he has Jesse there to help him with it. While he's in there helping Walter do this, Walter starts telling Jesse about the legend of I'm going to mess this up, the Maya Gallo. Basically, it's an ancient, I did have to put these notes right here, an ancient spider goddess who became vengeful when people stopped worshiping her. So basically what the spider goddess was doing was taking other people's kids. So basically they wanted to keep the spider goddess happy. They were having to make sacrifices to keep her happy. Well, that's how they got her in this little web thing, put her in the pot, locked away. So here we are now, Maya Gallo. Phantom, I know you're out there. You'll probably have to send me a recording on how to say that the right way. But so he's just sitting there hanging out with Walter, talking back and forth. And Kara is in town, just having lunch. She's at a fucking restaurant, just having lunch. And I'm sitting there like, what the fuck, lady? Like, your kids was back home having to make some fucking cold ass SpaghettiOs, and you just take a day to run off into town to get some fucking lunch. But while she's in there, she has a little flashback. Some little kid runs up to the window, scares her. She has a flashback back to the car accident. But then that's when the sheriff, I think her name was Sheriff Jane. Let me look back up here again. Yeah, Sheriff Jane sees her and comes over there and starts talking to her. And the sheriff can tell that she's on some shit, because she basically tells her, she can tell that her eyes are dilated and shit like that. And so she basically, Kara kind of tells her that, yeah, it's been difficult, about her son. And so she kind of talks to the police officer about it. But so they kind of have a little moment, like she knows that she's there for. So then when she comes back, she goes up in the house, and finally after her little afternoon of mommy time, she comes back to Walter's. Jesse's in there still helping him. She asks him about Cambria. Well, while this is going on, Cambria was over at the house by herself. First, she was outside, spiders looking at her. And then after Walter had explained the whole spider goddess thing, I'm like, okay, that spider is going to take that child. That's the plan here. And so the little girl toward the beginning was feeding a cat. So she became a fan of Mr. Whiskers, is what she called it. And so the cat had gone at one point. Well, she was up in her room. After the spider was up there looking at her from outside, then she's back upstairs in her room playing with her dolls and her toys. Well, then she hears something up in the fucking attic. And she thinks it's Mr. Whiskers. So she gets excited. Well, in her closet is a little like homemade ladder where you can go up into the attic. Well, Cambria goes up that ladder. Like any, kids are curious. So she goes up this ladder. And when she gets up there, You just know that you're gonna get some spider shots, man. Oh, and there's one. It's a jump scare. Well, it jump scared the shit out of me. It may not all of you, but damn it, it got me. But she goes up there and she sees this big dollhouse. And she's like looking at it like any little girl. It was a pretty fancy dollhouse. And so she goes up there, she starts kind of looking at it. Well, you start noticing there's some fucking spider web shit around there, you know. And I don't know about anybody else, but a fucking spider web gets on me. Good God, man. That has me fucked up the rest of the day unless I can come inside and take a shower. Because I'm just thinking that I hit this fucking spider web, spider landed on me, spider laid some fucking baby eggs on me, and so I'm just waiting on some shit to be crawling. So I don't like spider webs either. So all these spider webs in there. And so she's looking around, she looks in the dollhouse, and she looks up in there, and in the dollhouse, and she thinks it's jewels. It ain't jewels, people. It's fucking baby spiders. She reaches up in there. And I'm sitting there while I'm watching it. I'm going, don't fucking touch it. Don't fucking touch it. She reaches up in there, grabs them. And she's like squeezing on these fucking baby spider eggs. And she's like, it's like gushy type shit. And oh my God, that just fuck. Every time she's touching it, I'm just like yelling, like, don't fucking touch it. But you know, little kids, she thought it was like some little squishy balls. No, little girl, them are killing spiders. So while she's in there, she starts looking around, and she sees this little like stroller, little toy kid stroller, and this thing's covered in webs, like it's thick. So she's like tearing the webbing, and she pulls this baby doll out. Well, while she's up there, she found 3 or 4 other baby dolls. So she was like going to take them downstairs to play with. And oh boy, this part got me. She's coming back down. She goes to the little hole to get back down to her room. She drops all the baby dolls down on the floor. Well, she starts climbing down the ladder, and it's a slow process. And they build the anticipation up. But I'm like, damn it, get down the fucking steps. Because she's like looking for a little step, and it's like building up, building up. And you can see she put like part of the cover back on, but there's just one little square part that she was trying to get set in. And man, this spider sees it. And so as soon as she's trying to get that thing set in, this fucking massive ass spider went charging and like jumps on it. When it jumped on it, it hit her. It didn't hit her, but the board, and she fell to the ground and knocked herself out. Now, when I say big fucking spider, it shows this bad boy earlier, that very first day, when she, after the dude had busted the pot, spider got loose. Well, she was getting all the meds situated for fucking Walter. She goes into the bathroom, and it shows it like from above view looking down. The fucking spider's in the bathtub. And when I say big fucking spider, because damn it, this thing like it took up half the fucking bathtub. Like big. And that was the first time really seeing it. And good fuck, man. Oh, let me take me a gentleman jack break. Gentleman jack break. Thank you. So this is a big ass spider. I'm not sure. And at some point in there, she knows she's like, she hears the water drip and she's going to turn it off. She puts her hand up in there. Well, the next thing, the spider's gone. I don't know how this big fucking spider got out of that tub and out of that bathroom without her hearing something. You know, but hey, it is what it is. It got me, made my skin crawl. Fuck that big ass spider. So, little girl, Cambria falls, knocks out. Well, when Mama tells Jesse to go over there and check on her, like he was in the wrong for fucking leaving her over there, even though Mama went off to town to have a little afternoon delight lunch break. So Jesse goes over there, goes upstairs, sees her on the floor, knocked out. So Mom comes over, gets Mom. Well, then it shows her later on in the bed. Oh, the bed scene. Fuck. Whew. And so she's in the bed. Mom's talking to her. And while she's talking to her, you can tell she's kind of like a little concussion. So she's basically telling her, I think, and the little girl says something. Well, the whole time mom's doing this, talking to her, this fucking spider is under the fucking bed. Like, big ass spider under the little girl's bed. So the mom steps on something around the bed. And so it made her she just kind of kicks this little ball she stepped on, kicks under the bed. But then the little girl, I don't know if she says something, but anyway, mom looks under the bed, big ass spider's gone. Again, don't know how big ass spider got out of there without nobody hearing shit, but it did. Whatever. So she goes out in the hallway, basically telling Jesse he needs to look after her. He's like, I need you to look after her. Don't let her go to sleep. Like, your daughter just got knocked the fuck out, possible concussion. Now you're going to run back over there to help Walter and just tell Jesse to fucking, you on your own. And him and fucking Kara get into a big argument, you know, because Jesse's basically telling that he's having to do everything. Like, gets her up in the morning, get them dressed, do everything, you know. But it's like, you know, Kara just trying to avoid it. They have a little argument. One thing about Kara is every night, well, she did Debo one of fucking Walter's bottles of fucking Oxy, I think. Because at some point she goes to bed, sits the bottle on her table, and you can see the label's been peeled off. Which I thought maybe, okay, did she take Walter's or did she already have one of her own she was just hiding shit in? I don't know. But she's in this bed. Bitch ain't even got no fucking bed sheets on the bed. Like, it's just a big mattress with a wad of sheets laying on it. And she goes in there at night, pops a little fucking Oxy, curls up with the bed sheets. You know, I'm like, damn, bitch, make the bed. At least you've been there more than a day. But so Kara has you kind of like, what the fuck, dude? Like, she kind of, then that's where I figured out when I looked back earlier when I thought fucking little man Jesse should have got his head slapped against the window. But I get it now. You know, mom apparently got fired. That's why they had to move. Mom apparently got fired from her last job because she was stealing drugs. And so now we get it. Sorry, I was mad at you earlier, Jesse. So then she goes upstairs after this big argument. And she goes looking for her bottle. Well, guess what? I think she had one fucking pill left, you know, in her little bottle. So she goes over to check with, go to Walter's. And she's getting Walter squared away. He had him hooked up to something. I don't know, like a little IV bag or something. So she has him kind of hooked up this. While she's over there, she's getting ready to leave. And she's like, oh, let me straighten up your bathroom. Walter's like, oh, no, don't worry about that. Go home and take care of that little girl. Walter knew she fell, had a concussion. Walter's like, go take care of your kids. She's like, well, no, let me straighten up your bathroom. She runs up in the bathroom. She's in that motherfucker for like 5 seconds. You didn't straighten up shit, bitch. She went straight in there for the Oxy. And she kind of sticks it in her pants somehow, in the back of her pants. I don't fucking know, because she comes up in there to get her bag to leave. The bottle falls out, pops open. Pills go all over the floor. She starts trying to pick them up. Walter's like, what is that? Well, then Kara trying to fucking lie. She's like, oh, I'm bringing these in here for you for pain. They're for pain. And Walter's like, I haven't taken those things in months. And so that's when Walter starts figuring this shit out. And her and Walter get into it. Like, they're like, he's basically telling her that she should be taking care of her kids. He tells her their kids deserve a better mother. Like, he's going in on her. And so she says something, whatever, and basically Walter fired her. Basically is what went down. Walter's like, bitch, you're fired. So when she leaves, goes back home that night, big ass spider is now in Walter's house. Walter crawls into bed, and this big old fucking spider comes crawling into the bedroom. Walter's under blankets, ready to go night-night. And let me tell you one thing, family. When I go to bed tonight, I will be shaking the fucking shit out of my sheets just because of this movie. Walter's in the bed. Spider comes up to the side of the bed, climbs up into the bed. Walter goes to sleep. I don't know if Walter takes some awesome sleeping pills. I don't know what it is, but Walter must have been knocked the fuck out, because he wakes up the next morning. and you can tell he's in pain. Pulls the sheet back, and this big ass spider had fucked his foot up. Like, took some bites down there on the foot area. Walter falls out of bed. Well, then he kind of looks over. There's big ass fucking spider standing there. And he knows shit's going, it's fucked up now. He knows. Now he knows it's all fucking true. The urine pot and the damn spider goddess. Now you got this big ass fucking spider right there. Well, he starts trying to crawl like he gonna go anywhere. And he makes it to the bathroom. Spider comes up in there, fucks him up. So, next day, Jesse gets up after having a big fallout with Mama. Jesse goes over there, finds to go to Walter's house, looking to hang out with Walter. Him and Walter, like, he gets along with Walter. Goes up in there trying to find him, can't find him. Goes up into the bedroom. All he sees is the bloody sheet from when the big fucking spider gnawed on his damn foot. So then he sees a little blood trail. Goes up in the bathroom. There's damn Walter. Walter looked like he'd been there more than a day, because the flies was in there. His face was all dark and just fucked up. So little Jesse, he's got a little idea. He's wondering, like, okay, the pot broke. Walter told me this story about the spider goddess. Jesse's putting 2 and 2 together. And so he's kind of got this idea of like, hey, there's it's the spider. So the police are questioning, Sheriff Jane comes and they're questioning, Kara on the stuff. And they think maybe it has something to do with that dude earlier who was in there, the little treasure hunter dude that broke the pot. And that's kind of like what they were leaning, was like he came back and he did something. And so they go back, they're back in their house. They have hauled off Walter, now Kara's without a job again, got over there and she's sitting there around the table and she's trying to talk to Cambria. But Jesse's been like, it's a spider. And the little girl's freaking out. She's like, no, it's not a spider. And he's like, yeah, Walter told me the story about this spider goddess. He thinks it's the spider. Well, the little girl's getting kind of worked up. Mom and Jesse going at it again. So he runs out of the room. Mom goes up there, they're talking. He says something to him. He says something to Mom that I can't remember what it was, but set her off. She slaps the shit out of him. Like, just straight up slaps him. And maybe it has something to do with her dead son, the younger son that died. Maybe, I can't remember. Slaps the shit out of him. And she basically goes up into her room. Basically, she's realized what she did. That kind of set in like, fuck, I've let this medication, I've let all this stuff get me to this point. While she's doing this, the little girl apparently got brought upstairs. I don't know if the fucking spider did it. I don't know if she went up there on her own, but it made me feel like the spider did it. I'm not sure though, because like I said, I don't know. But they hear a noise. Kara comes into the little girl's room. Little girl's not in the bed. Can't find fucking Jesse either. She goes up to the attic. When she gets up there, she's walking real slow, and she sees Cambria is tied up with, like, has some webbing holding her in. And you got Jesse there with some fucking scissors. He's cutting the webbing. And so you're going, I don't know how she got up there. Maybe she did it wrong. But Jesse's up there trying to fucking get her loose. So Mom's coming across the boards real slow. Jesse looks at her, tells her to be quiet, and he points. And when he points, you see this fucking, all you see is legs up here in the corner, up in the webbing. And so she's trying to be quiet. She's stepping over there, gets closer to him. He's trying to cut her loose. And that tension's building, because I'm thinking that little fucking thing is going to wake up and this is going to come flying off that fucking spider web. So the whole time he's trying to cut her loose. Mom tiptoes over there trying to be quiet. Jesse drops the scissors, makes a little noise, but it doesn't, the spider doesn't move. So I'm thinking, okay, they're still good. He gets Cambria Kara's standing there telling them to go behind me, and they're going to make their way to the little hole to get out of the attic. So they start slowly stepping over there. Well, she gets down. Jesse and Cambria get down. They climb down. Well, when Mama Kara gets to the little hole, she hears something. And she kind of looks to her right, I believe. And you just see a bunch of little webbing looking shit with this fucking spider. The one up in the fucking webbing was the hole. Like it had shed that part of itself. I don't fucking know. But there was like you've seen it, it showed it, and there's like a hole in it. Like that was like another layer. Maybe it gets bigger. I don't know. But this spider comes flying out and like jumps on her and fucking bites her like right in the chest area. So she fucking falls. Like when it hits her, she falls all the way down, bam, hits the floor. Kids are over there screaming. She's basically telling them they got to get out, and they're kind of making their way over. Well, then Mom's fucked up. She got that spider shit in her. So they get out of the room, and somehow the little girl is still in it's in the room with them. All this is going on. I can't remember exactly how this went down, but she gets in there, and she basically they at this time they're calling 911. Jesse, I think, makes the call. Yeah, I think Jesse makes the call because he had her number. Sheriff Jane gave him her number. He calls her up, and while he's trying to tell her, I think the phone cuts out. Let her know that she's on her way. They're on their way. And so basically, Cambria, the little girl, spider comes around the corner, spider jumps at Cambria. And while all this is going on, people, I'm telling you, may not seem like much to some of y'all when y'all watch it, but damn it, that shit had me. I was tensed up. I was all up under my blanket. I was like, fuck. I didn't look away though, but damn it, that had me fucking tensed up. So this spider jumps at Cambria. She throws her hand up. Well, its fucking fangs go through her hand. And when it goes through her hand, you see the venom coming out. So luckily she didn't get no venom because it went through, and then it started spitting its venom. Mom comes up in there. Mom's fucked up. Jesse went and got her a fucking first aid kit, and then I think she had like an EpiPen. So she basically took that EpiPen, shot that up in her to try to stop that spider venom. So Mom comes over there, slaps the shit out of this fucking spider. Spider kind of does this little like spiders do, where it I don't know if it was playing dead. You know, when you hit a spider, sometimes all their legs just kind of like curl in on itself. I don't know if that's like a little like, you know, playing possum type thing. But as soon as she did it, I'm just like, fuck, I'm talking to the TV. I'm like, fucking run. And I'm looking at it. It shows the spider. I'm like, it ain't fucking dead. Get the fuck out of the house. So she tells them Jesse and little girl Cambria to get out, to go. So Mama Kara going to hold it down. When they get to the door, apparently the fucking door's stuck. They can't get it open. Well, then Cambria, little girl, hears something at the fireplace. She's got a little flashlight. She's looking around, you know, and she flashes over at the fireplace. And you start seeing a little bit of shit falling down. And I'm sitting there watching them going, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. The damn spider's in the chimney. So her and Jesse are looking at it. Well, then here it fucking comes flying out. Well, he basically takes Cambria, I think he puts her in a room or something. I'm not 100%, puts her in a room. He goes over and grabs one of the little fire pokers that you use in a fireplace. And I'm thinking, you see the spider, it shows it. Big ass spider sitting there looking at him. He's got this thing, and I'm thinking he's gonna fucking, you know, Barry Bonds this motherfucker when it comes at him. So the spider sits there, and you see when the spider like leans back a little bit, I'm like, oh, bitch, she's about to jump. And man, when it jumps, the spider jumped, Jesse jumped, fucking I jumped, like, and the spider jumps at him, and he don't hit it. He basically puts it up in front of him, and he kind of blocking the spider, holding it off, and just trying to fight this thing off. Well, Mama Kara has made her way down, and she comes down, and she sees old boy fighting. Well, Mom Kara goes there and straight up like a badass bitch, grabs the fucking spider, like just grabs it off the thing, and she's over against the wall. And she's like fighting against it. And she finally gets like this energy and she like rips it. When she rips it, you see it like pull some legs off, it hits the ground. She grabs something, stabbing the fucking shit out of it. Like she's going, just unleashing on this fucking spider, like smashing the shit out of it. But then Sheriff James shows up with the police and everything. And it shows them on a ambulance ride. You got Jesse in the back with mom, Kara. She's looking rough, man. I mean, rough. And so when she starts talking to him, she's telling that she loves him. So then you're thinking, is she gonna die? And then it comes back. I don't know how many days passed. I don't know. But all I know is when it came back, it showed the two little kids, Jesse and Cabria, sitting on the bed in, I think it was Jesse's room. They're sitting there looking at a picture. And when he started looking at that picture, it was them two and the mom. So I'm thinking, oh shit, did the mom die? Because he did make the little girl made a comment about them having to move. But when it first jumped there, I thought, like, there's no fucking way in hell y'all went back to that damn house to stay there after that big fucking thing. But they were there to move. And so as they're talking, you see Kara walk up. Kara walked up, and you could tell, all this, that made you sober the fuck up, didn't it, Kara? Didn't need no more oxy now. So she basically is getting the kids. The kids are going to move on, bigger and better things, put all this shit behind them. And then that gets us to the end of this thing. So FYI, there is some after credit stuff. So when you get to the end of this, get through the credits, there's a little portion at the end of it. So that was the Itsy Bitsy. Fuck, I hate spider movies. Hate them and love them at the same time. But overall, that was the story on this thing. Now, like I said, you know how I rate them. I fuck them, marry, or kill it. And I don't know if I will ever. God, sometimes movies like this, though, they're good because I know how uncomfortable they make me feel. So, damn it, I don't know if I want to kill it or fuck it. I think it's going to be almost borderline. I want to say, I want to say kill it. Damn it. I want to kill it. I'm going to kill it because I don't want to watch it again. It was good. It wasn't great. It did not give me the feel of like the original, like Arachnophobia. Like that movie to this day is one I watch it. I like to watch it because of the way it makes me feel. It makes me feel just fuck. But this one, it did it through the movie, had me feeling like that, like just kind of drawed up, creepy feeling. But I don't think it's not one of those. If I go back and watch it again, I'm not gonna feel that. This one didn't do that for me. But this time that I watched it, it did that. And that I enjoyed of it. So I'm not saying the movie was bad. I just know I don't want to watch it again because I'll watch it again. That's a spider movie. It's not, I know I'm not going to get the feel like I do right now. I can go put Arachnophobia in, and that thing is going to just make me all the way through it. Like that movie just fucks me up. Like I said, so this one, I don't want to see it again. Well, I'll watch it. If somebody's over and they want to watch it, I will watch it with somebody. But it's not one I'm going to go back to. Because I'm not going to get that same feeling like when I watched it the very first time. So it's a kill for me for that reason. So go check it out. It's on Tubi. It's free. It ain't going to cost you a fucking thing. That's going to do it for this episode. Shit. Like I said, Itsy Bitsy 2019 made my fucking skin crawl. Like I said, I don't do spiders, people. But hold on 1 second. 1 second. Gentleman Jack break. Thank you. So, yep, that's going to do it for another episode. Go check us out on social media. Go give the show a listen. Give us a review, a comment, subscribe, follow, any of that stuff. I appreciate it. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up. I don't know when the next episode is going to be. I don't know what the next show is going to be on. But that's why you got to subscribe. That's why you got to follow. You got to know. That way you'll be in the know when this shit gets uploaded. So, yep, that's it. I appreciate you all for listening. I appreciate you for, hanging out with me for a few minutes. So at this time, just like always, pick up your drinks, put your chairs away, grab your shit, and get the fuck out of here.